Because the times
Woke up this morning thinking about
Those summer days.
best friend got caught up when I stayed in Douglasville. Doing some stuff by myself. I'm a What's good, y'all? Do record labels kill artists? Yes. And or the artists give into the record label's trap of influence of, hey, do this, it's not bad for you, here you go, and all this other stuff, and the artist blindly does it at times. Or the artist may be going through something and the label needs their money, so they might give them drugs, slip drugs here and there, and the artist does it. I'm just saying, look at Juice World, look at Lil Peep.
The other day I was
Disrespect,
watching a video
no
about posthumous
disrespect.
albums, and I realized that record labels were profiting a ton off of these artists' deaths. But the video got me
And or if we're gonna talk about it, a lot of artists die and these record labels keep making their music, keep dropping songs and everything else, trying to make money off them. That's fucked up. Shit, can't be me.
thinking, if a record label can make so much money off of posthumous albums, songs, and a spike in streams from fans missing the artist, is it possible that the record labels themselves are behind these deaths? And I just want to clarify, this is not in any way meant to be a disrespectful or conspiracy theory video, but it's just an idea.
Oh, just saying. No, maybe. It might be because what I said, might not. I don't know. I'm just saying.
That popped into my head that I think is actually pretty possible. And I'm not saying that this has happened in a specific instance with a specific artist. I'm just saying that it is possible that it's happened in the past. But how would this even be possible? How could a record label profit off of an artist's death? Well, I am not a legal expert myself. There are plenty of ways that I learned that record labels could profit off of an artist dying. First of all, there's the most obvious way, which is posthumous releases, whether it be an album or a song. We've all seen artists recently that have passed that have dropped posthumous releases, such as Lil Peep, Juice WRLD, Pop Smoke, and probably most notably XXXTentacion. People have been arguing and debating whether or not posthumous releases are respectful or disrespectful to the artist, especially in instances like XXXTentacion with his multiple posthumous releases. A big issue people have with X's label is them dropping clearly unfinished songs and just slapping a feature on it and calling it a song, which a lot of people find very disrespectful.
It
And then
is.
in some instances, you have labels and families like Mac Miller's treating the legacy with respect and only dropping finished work. So because of all these releases, obviously the labels will be the ones that are earning the royalties from the songs and the albums. Also, depending on the specifications of the contract and whether or not there was an advance, some money could also be going to the family members. However, something I found extremely interesting when I was doing my research is that in a lot of contracts, it's possible for record labels to sneak in something called a death clause. Babalam made a very good video covering the death clause and more information about it, so check that out if you want to learn more about it. It's very interesting, and apparently it isn't all that uncommon. And like I said, I'm sure it's extremely easy to sneak into a giant stack of papers that a new excited rapper doesn't really feel like reading. So essentially what this is, in some instances at least, is that the label makes themselves the life insurance beneficiary when an artist passes. And of course they're signing the contract, so it's totally legal. If you don't know what life insurance is, essentially it's a payout that a beneficiary receives if someone dies prematurely or due to certain circumstances. Again, I'm not a legal expert, but this is just from my understanding. For
Black people get life insurance.
example, if someone's parent or guardians died when they were young, they would probably collect life insurance, assuming the parent had it, so that they would have money and not have to pay all those bills. So basically, the labels are the ones that are collecting this payout, and possibly even more. People also think that labels include the death clause because they know that rappers in specific live pretty dangerous lifestyles and can be from pretty dangerous environments, and because of that, they could be the victims of either drug abuse or gun violence, which could lead to their deaths. Instead of being concerned for the artists and trying to clean up their lifestyles, I'm sure the labels see them more as a number and see how they could profit from an artist passing rather than them staying alive. It seems like it's also possible for labels to make themselves the beneficiary of an artist. And if you're wondering how that's possible, I found a quote from Quora that explains estate and things like that very well. Whenever someone dies, not just famous singers, all their assets and liabilities vest into their estate, which is the bundle of these rights and obligations. This estate then devolves to the heirs. The estate can either be testate if the person dies with a will, or intestate when he or she does not. For testate estates, the will stipulate who the heirs will be and which assets, including royalties from record sales, they will inherit. It will thus depend depend on the exact provisions of a will whether any family members will have a say in how estate assets are distributed. As to who inherits an artist's assets, that will depend on whether the signer died testate or intestate, and on provisions of his will and the law of the relevant jurisdiction. So basically what this means for artists is that if you sign a paper that makes your label the beneficiary, that makes you testate, making the label your new heir. Again, I'm no legal expert, but all these are legal ways of obtaining an artist's money and assets
and wealth,
after they pass. So it's very possible. I'm sure we've all seen episodes of crime shows where someone got married with the intention of killing them and then collecting their life insurance, and this could be a very similar possible scenario, especially if labels are sneaking these into contracts. But is there even any motive for the label to do this rather than to keep the artist alive and allow them to keep making more songs and albums that are profitable? Well, as we all know, when an artist passed, usually there's a crazy spike in streams. For example, Juice WRLD's streams went up 453%, X's streams went up 1603%, Young Dolph's streams went up 573%, Lil Peep re-entered the top 10 charts, Nipsey Hussle's streams soared, and there's even this chart that demonstrates album sales from albums that were made when the artist was alive and album sales of posthumous albums. It's pretty crazy, right? So because of the rise in streams and sales, the life insurance beneficiaries, and the estate beneficiaries, it's very possible that labels can make a lot of money off of the deaths of large artists. Now again, I'm not saying that any artist in specific died because of this or that it happened for this reason. I'm not doing any conspiracy theories, but I am saying that I think it's very possible that this could have happened throughout the history of the music industry. We all know big businesses and corporations aren't all perfect, and a lot of times there's a lot of shady stuff going on. So it could be very possible that stuff like this also happens in the music industry. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. If you think it's happened or if you think it's likely. I think it's more than likely that this has happened at least once. People have argued it happened to Kurt Cobain and other people, so it is possible it's happened in the music industry before, and it's possible it could happen in the future. I know I mentioned Juice WRLD in this video earlier, and if you're a fan of Juice WRLD and you like his music, I made a video about him a couple weeks ago.
I was gonna do that as well. I was gonna say that's why as an artist, once your numbers start going up because of a song, don't sign the contract. Start your own label and sign yourself. Put yourself on like a salary. You know what I'm saying? A high paying salary, goddamn it, if you had the money coming in, and pay yourself, and then pay the business, and start building your network. Start building producers. Start doing everything that you need to do. But making music takes time. Doing all that takes time. And I'm just 19. I'm just telling people what OGs told me. That's what I'm applying to my life. Hope y'all do the same. That being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. And let me know what y'all think in the comments below. We don't know, man. We don't know. Peace. Mario the Poet.